All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the odd numbered questions. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to factor tree this out. 2 and 4, 2 and 2, and then 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. Okay, so this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times t minus 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Okay, oh, and it's a y. Just kidding. Okay, so what do we have in common? So what we have in common is both of them have 3 2s. And that's basically it. So everything else, that 5y, the negative sign, and that 2t is what's left over. So I can factor out an 8. That is 2 times 2 times 2. 8. And I'm left with a 2t minus 5y. So 8 times 2t minus 5y. Okay. And then I have 2kkyy plus 2 times 2 times k. I should write my 2's a little bit better. Okay, so what do I have now? So I have a 2 and a 2 and a k and a k. And then what am I left with is ky squared and a 2. So I have a 2k that comes out, and I'm left with a ky squared plus, 2. I also have that plus sign that's in the middle there. Okay, so I have 2k and then ky squared plus 2. Okay, and then I'm going to 5, so then this is 2 times 2 times a times b times b, and then plus 2 times, I should do the parentheses. Sorry, the parentheses was supposed to come in front. So 2 times a times b minus 10, which is the same thing as 2 times 5 times a times b times b. Okay, so what do all 3 of them have in common? Let's see. Everybody's got a 2. What else do we got? Everybody's got an A. Everybody's only got one A, though. And then everybody's got one B. Okay, so then everything else is what's left over. Okay, so I'm factoring out a 2AB, and I'm left with a 2AB. Is that right? Yes. And then a plus A, and then a minus 5B. So this is 2AB, and then 2AB plus A minus 5B. Okay, and then moving along to 7. So 7, so this is 7x plus 49, which is 7 times 7. So then what do I have in common? I have a 7, and then I'm left with an x and a plus sign and a 7. So 7, and then x plus 7. Okay, and then 11 is a times a, b times b plus a. So I have a common a in there. And then what I don't have is, I have actually a multiply by 1 here. And so that's what I'm left with. So I factor out an a. I'm left with ab squared plus 1. Okay. 13, so this is 3 times p times r, plus 6, which is 2 times 3 pr, and then plus p technically times 1. Okay, so now what do I have in common? I have not a 3. I have a p here, and a p here, and that looks like to be it. So then I have a 1 left over, a plus sign, an r, a 6, a plus sign, a p and 2 r's, and a 3. So I have a p that I'm factoring out, 3pr squared plus 6r, a little long for the r, and then plus 1. So p times 3pr squared plus 6r plus 1. Okay, and then, okay, so then I have 10, which is 2 times 5 times h times h times h times n times n times n. Okay, minus 2. Oh, I should put this in parentheses. Sorry, 2hnn, and then plus 2 times 7 times h times n. Okay, so now what do I got in common? So I have green here. Everybody's got a 2. Everybody has an h, one h at least. And it looks like everybody's got one n. And then what am I left with? I'm left with, let's see, we'll make it in blue. So I'm left with a 5, h squared, n squared, an n, a minus sign, a plus sign, and a plus 7. Okay, so what am I factoring out? 2hn, and I'm left with 5h squared, n squared, minus n plus 7. So 2hn, 5h squared, n squared, minus n plus 7. Okay. And then here, so 15, so 3 times 5 c d d, and then minus 2 times 5 d times d, minus 5 times c, and then plus 5cd. Okay, so what do we have in common? We have, looks like a 5 in common. We don't have anything else because not everybody's got a C and not everybody's got a D. So we're left with a lot left over. So, okay. So I am factoring out just a 5, and I'm left with 3cd squared minus 2d squared minus c squared plus cd. Okay, so 5, 3cd squared, maybe write this a little bit better, 3cd squared minus 2d squared minus c squared plus cd. Okay, 19. Okay, so 3ax plus, nope, not plus, minus 2 times 3 times a times y minus 3 times a, and then, make it by the parentheses, minus 2 times 3 times a times w. Okay, so now what I have is everybody's got a 3, and everybody's got an a, and then that's all that we have in common. So an x, a negative, a 2, a y, a negative, an a negative, a 2, and a w. Okay, so 3a is what comes out. I'm left with an x minus, sorry about that, minus 2y minus a minus 2w. My Pinterest notification is always normally for leadership stuff, because that's where I get all my little leadership activities from, is Pinterest. Okay, so also they have really good meal prep ideas too. Okay, so 3a, so I have x minus 2y minus a minus 2w. Okay, and then we'll go here, so 8. Oh boy, negative 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives me our first term. Minus 28, which is 2 times 2 times 7, 6 n's. 4, 5, 6. Plus 16, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 n's. And then 14, which is minus 2 times 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 n's. Okay, so what do we have in common? Well, we got 4 n's. Maybe I have 4 n's in common. Okay, and then I have a 2. So I'm left with a whole bunch of other stuff. A 7, a negative, an n, 2, 2, 2, positive, n, 7, 2, negative, 3 n's here, and then a 2 and a negative 2. Okay, so I'm left with, so I have a 2n to the 4th, and I'm left with a negative 4n cubed minus 14, just kidding, not 2, 14n squared plus 8n and minus 7. Okay, so 2n to the 4th, and then negative 4n cubed minus 14n squared plus 8n minus 7. Okay, and then 36x to the 4th. So that's 2 times 18. So that's 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And then x times x times x times x. And then minus 3 times 5, x times x times x times y, plus 2 times 3 times 3, x times x, minus 3 times 7, x, y. Okay, so what do we have in common? Let's get to that first. Everybody's got an x. Everybody looks like they have a 3. And then that's it. So I have a y, a 7, a negative, an x, a 3, a 2, a positive, a y, x, x, 5, negative, x, 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 3, 2, 2. Okay, so I am pulling out a 3x. I'm left with a 4x cubed minus 5x squared y plus 6x minus 7y. So 3x, I'm left with 4x cubed minus 5x squared y. X squared y plus 6x minus 7y. Oops, my y is a little further away. Okay. All right. And then 25 is my last one. So 5 PCC minus PC plus 3 times 5 PPC minus 2 times 5 PPCC. Okay, so what do I have in common? I have a 5. Nope. Just kidding. I have a P and a C, I think. P and a C, P and a C, P and a C. Okay. And then I have everything else left over. Okay. And then this is technically multiplied by 1. So I am pulling out a PC. I'm left with a PC. That's funny. 5C minus 1 plus 15P minus, just kidding, 10PC. Remember, when I factor out everything out of this term here, that technically I'm still left with a 1 that's there. Okay? So PC 5C minus 1 plus 15P minus 10PC. All right, and that's it for every other odd question. Or every odd question.